Good evening. Diane and I are delighted to welcome you to another edition of Primetime Thursday.
And we begin tonight with a kind of panic that can set in any household. A teenage child out of control. Parents asking the question, how do we save them? Well, tonight we're going to devote our entire broadcast to one possible answer, an extraordinary emotional and physical odyssey. 3 teens, 21 days on a journey into the wilderness. A grueling encounter with nature and sometimes with themselves. With the permission of everyone involved and the stipulation that anything the kids wanted to keep private, we would keep private, Primetime goes along into the wilderness. Chris Cuomo asking the question, if you push a teen this far, is there transformation on the other side?
We're deep in the Kalmiopsis wilderness of southwestern Oregon. Rugged country, miles from a road or civilization. A group of teens sent here, far away from home, far from anything they're used to. It's a journey of survival.
I've seen what happened to people that parents take control of their lives. They end up doing exactly what they want them to do.
I think the hiking just gets me more pissed at you guys, if anything.
Not physical, but emotional survival. Our story follows 3 of these troubled kids. For them, this may be the last best hope. Different lifestyles, different families, but similar problems with drugs and defiance. Mario Saraceno is a 17-year-old from Bend, Oregon. His mother, Hillary, says he grew up like any other boy.
What words identify the Mario at his best?
He was delightful. He was funny. People gravitated to him. We called him Mr. Sunshine. He'd wake up and he'd have this blonde hair sticking out and just be grinning ear to ear.
You can push me a lot further than you think, and you know that.
Mario is no longer the boy his parents remember.
He began to put a harder exterior, that anger, that macho guy, tough.
What are you getting out of me? A lot of disrespect, showing me that I'm right about adults and they're all stupid and ignorant.
And now it's pretty caked on, and it's going to take a while to chip it off.
Kyle Roberts is 15 from San Diego. His mother, Diane, remembers her little boy.
Sweet, fun, funny, playful, rambunctious. He was a ball of fire.
Are there new words in addition to those?
Yeah. Hurting, confused, despairing. At some level, he's given up. He hurts.
And finally, there's Melissa Heckman, also a 15-year-old from San Diego. Her coy smile hides searing pain.
Part of me is like, nah, you gotta see what tomorrow's gonna be like, and tomorrow will be better, and all of that. My mind's like, no, it won't. It's not gonna get any better than this, and it's not gonna pull through. So what's the point?
Mario's mom, Hillary, could be speaking for the parents of all the kids.
We had reached a point where we didn't feel like we could do anything for him. He was out of control and he needed help, and we couldn't give it to him.
Duck your head, duck your head.
Mario's story starts at 5 a.m. on August 6th. His parents are afraid he might run away, so they hire what's called a transport service. Basically, 2 men surprise Mario in his sleep and accompany him to the offices of the Catherine Freer Wilderness Trek program in Albany, Oregon.
When I looked at him walking out the door, it was like I was seeing him being busted, being arrested, and then there was another side of me that said, no, these are angels that are taking him to help him to figure this out, to give me my son back.
Go ahead and have a seat over by the magazine rack.
Kyle also didn't know he was coming to Freer.
I will go over to Kyle at 6 a.m. and I just wake him up and I say, sweetie, you're not going to be happy. I've decided to send you away. And there are 2 men here who are going to take you.
What does he say?
I don't know if I can say it on camera.
He feels betrayed.
Totally. And I feel as though I've betrayed him. I've tricked him. And that was devastating.
6 families are gathering here, their voices sounding like a chorus. singing of the same woes.
I have a son who's no longer invested in the relationships with his family members. His friends have become more important than we are.
During the 6-hour initial family meeting, the families describe how they got to this desperate point.
And he was just incoherent and not able to communicate very well.
Whether they're two-parent families like the Saracinos or single moms like Diane or Melissa's mother, Gabrielle, they're all looking for help.
I will do whatever it takes. I just hope you will.
Do you want to speak to that, or can you talk about that, Kyle? You want to?
Well, she seems to know it all, so speak up.
I took him down, I put my knee in his chest, I hit him across the face and said, "That's it."
After many tears, the meeting finally draws to a close. Despite the problems and the animosity, despite the heartbreak, for the parents, saying goodbye to their kids hurts.
He wouldn't even say goodbye to me. I expected it. Just sad.
Is it worth having your son hate you if it gives him the motivation to get well?
Absolutely. That's why I did it. I'll go through any amount of pain if it helps him.
When we left the family meeting, Mario said, "I hate you guys. You're trash. I hate you for what you're doing to me." My own feeling was, this is my son, I love and care about you so much, and I'm giving you up to, a program that's going to take you down to bare basics. Life's going to be hard on you, and I know up here that that's the right thing. In here, it hurts.
Still your baby.
He's still my kid.
The goodbyes are over, and the program begins. The kids are brought to the basement.
Take off your shorts and
Yeah. They are strip searched for drugs and weapons, then outfitted with the bare essentials for surviving outside. Packs, boots, and sleeping bags.
So they feel good. You're going to be in them for 3 weeks. They need to feel awesome. They do.
4 p.m.
and on back.
The kids, emotionally drained and angry, are loaded into a van for a 4-hour drive. No talking allowed. Plenty of time to reflect on how they got here and to wonder about where they're going. 4 counselors supervise the group. The eccentric outdoorsman Dan Coyle, Liz Haynes, a former oceanographer, Danielle Kane, who's the Trek's licensed therapist, and Rob Voss, a mechanical engineer who gave up his high-powered job to work with kids.
It's not always, quote, really screwed up families that end up on track. I've seen kids of all sizes, shapes, dispositions, angry kids, sad kids, depressed kids. I think that there's value in just coming out into the wilderness and hitting the pause button on your life.
It's nightfall when the van finally arrives at an entry point to the National Forest. This is as far as the road goes.
We need to get you guys set up with your packs tonight, and we're gonna hike for a little bit tonight.
Can you feel that difference?
Listen up. The way we usually do it is we give you guys an order and we ask you to hike in single file and we ask you to hike silently, and we'll kind of start off that way. So follow me. We're gonna hike for a little while just so we get away from the trailhead.
All right.
10 p.m. This has been one of the worst days of their lives, and now the kids must make a difficult 45-minute hike through darkness to where they'll make their first camp and hopefully a new beginning.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
God, I don't think I can do it. Feels like my pack is heavier than me.
And they put our sleeping bag at the very, very bottom of the bag, so that helps us even more.
The kids have no idea where they are, and boots and headlamps are collected, so running away is not an option. The troubled teens set their sleeping bags under a glowing moon. Tomorrow, the hard work begins. What happens in the next 3 weeks will change their lives forever. A layer of cold air casts a fog over the campsite. On this, the first morning of 21 days in the wilderness, Mario, Melissa, and the others slowly stir and realize it's not a dream.
You don't want to twist up this sleeping bag.
The group gets its first lessons on living in the wild.
So you just want to kind of bunch it.
7 a.m. They've made their own breakfast and packed their own gear. And now it's time for the trek to begin.
Today, the thought for the day is going to be, why are you here? Solitude out here is a really important factor in allowing you guys to have the change that you and your parents want to have happen. So when we hike, we ask that there's not any talking on the trail.
Ready? The rules call for isolation, quiet, silent hiking to encourage the kids to focus on their problems. The first leg, an exposed ridgeline, a difficult climb 4,200 vertical feet above sea level. Along with solitude is physical stress. Climbing the jagged trail, the kids are suffering. They're carrying 65-pound packs over steep terrain. The sun and heat are intense, with temperatures near 100 degrees. Remember, most of these kids have serious drug or alcohol problems. They're not exactly in the best shape. Still, they're pushed to keep up. Paul Smith is the program director at Catherine Freer.
Part of the way our program is set up, the physical tiredness helps to break down defenses that kids have.
Our packs are going to hurt, our shoulders are going to hurt, our legs are going to hurt. So while we're hiking and you're feeling like you just can't go any farther, just, tell yourself that there's a break coming and you'll be able to get some rest.
The kids aren't told where they're going or how long the hike will be. They're forced to take each day, each hour, as it comes to them. 2 days in, the physical demands begin to take effect on Melissa, and it's about to get even harder.
Now, of course, there's a question about how far do you push.
Day 3, a grueling hike down a mountain. No trail, just a fight through thick forest. Melissa refuses to continue.
Shaking your head, you gotta stop, you can do this. All these people are waiting, so we just gotta keep going.
The trek operates only as a group. If one teen stops, they all must stop. So Mario, Kyle,
Hey, Kyle, no.
Nobody else is getting a sitting break, Kyle. You need to stand up. This sucks. There's no doubt about it.
Tom, Chase, and Andrea are stuck. There's no water and no talking until Melissa decides to keep going.
We're just sitting here with 75-pound backpacks on. Let's go.
I need you guys to be quiet. I know this is frustrating and hard. As soon as Melissa moves forward, there's a water break right around the corner. She's got some decisions to make, so I need you to keep moving on down the hill.
You can't carry this pack anymore.
Yes, you can.
You need to take it off.
No, you don't take your pack off. I'll duct tape it shut. You need to keep it on. Keep your pack on. We need to keep moving down the slope.
Growing up, Melissa seemed to overcome severe family trauma, a divorce, her father and sister's emotional turmoil. But there's pain she never showed. Deep pain her mother Gabrielle never fully realized was there.
I am somewhat surprised by the apparent severity of the reaction that she has.
So much shit has happened in my family. Like, she just didn't want to know anymore. Like, she figured I was okay, and I would tell her that I was okay and all of that.
She was always very self-sufficient, very self-reliant, and so she always appeared like she really had her act together.
My mom wasn't there. Our family is not touchy-feely. You don't feel. You be strong, or I be strong, and just bear through what needs to be done.
Put your other foot down there.
Wait.
Day 3, 12 noon. On the banks of the Chetco River, Melissa again says she can't go on.
I can't step that far.
This time, the counselors let her take a break. The relentless hiking has allowed something else to emerge.
She was hyperventilating and seemed pretty upset. And later on, I found out that what she meant was sort of like, she felt like she just wasn't a good person, amoral for some things that she'd done.
I think that definitely the hiking and the rigor is definitely bringing up some real stuff for her that normally she can just kind of push aside or use drugs to avoid looking at.
Later that day, the trek follows a trail along the edge of a 166-foot canyon wall. They are 16 stories high. The staff decides Melissa has reached her limit. They take time out with her and lighten her load,
Let's do that.
giving Chase and Mario some of her gear to carry.
Help you out another day. Okay?
Cool. Come on, easy, let's go.
When she was up on the mountain, our intervention with her was letting her learn how to accept care and help from others.
So tonight for group.
Every night after hiking all day, there's group therapy. Melissa is now beginning to open up.
Did you ever try killing yourself?
Yes. Didn't work, obviously.
She says while she was on the edge of that sheer cliff earlier that day, she thought about jumping off.
At one point, I felt like throwing myself off that hill. Just going, doesn't matter.
I'm gonna die anyway, so, why just drag this hell out?
Explain to me how someone your age, who has so much in front of them to live for, what would make you feel like maybe a real option is no more living for me. I've lived enough.
Feeling like nobody cares. Nobody cares whether you jumped off a cliff. Nothing is going my way. There's nothing good about life.
Trek director Rob Cooley.
Now, I don't know whether Melissa knows what it is and isn't willing to tell anybody, or whether she doesn't know yet.
I feel like my legs are gonna give out.
You spend 10 minutes around her and you want to start crying, but because you feel that, just waves of pain coming out of her, and is always at risk for suicide until she deals with that pain.
Unlike Melissa, Mario's handled the grueling hikes relatively well. It's his anger that's gotten him in trouble.
He pushes people away with anger, so we wanted to tap into that anger a little bit.
So the staff confronts Mario for talking without permission, a test to see if he'll overreact, and he does.
I don't move around and be like, yeah, I'm gonna piss Liz off doing this, I'm gonna piss Liz off doing that. Dad, I walked around and I was standing right there and I was like, the sun is shining a little bit brighter on that rock. So I stepped up there and then Tom came walking out and started talking to me. But it looks like I had the conversation because I was walking around talking to everyone. And I missed the social Mario.
And I wanted to get that anger out because he'd been bottling it up all day and saying small little remarks here and there.
I hate getting angry personally. I honestly think it's the worst thing for me. I can't get anything I want said. Nothing makes sense to me when I'm arguing about it, but out here I can't walk away. I tell you what I feel and then you get pissed off at me. And
Is there an answer you can ever give as to why something happens with a kid?
Sometimes you can have some confidence about that. Sometimes you're just, as with Mario on this particular track, I'm kind of, scrambling. I'm not sure yet. It's very hard to know really what's going on with him.
Like Mario, Kyle has trouble understanding his own emotions. But he's young and his burdens are heavy. His mother's 2 divorces, his father's dipping in and out of his life, and the death of the half-sister he loved.
He went through a lot at a very young age. He didn't have the emotional skills to handle them, to understand it. Kyle is heart. So everything broke him.
Kyle turned to drinking and drugs, and when his mother tries to confront him,
He says everything a parent wants to hear. He says, I never want to touch alcohol again.
So what becomes the last straw?
Kyle came in at 4 o'clock in the morning without a shirt on, stumbling, went into the bathroom, threw up, rolled out of the bathroom onto the hallway, and passed out. I'm checking his pulse, I'm checking his eyes. Is he in coma? Is he breathing? And I'm checking him thinking, do I call 911? What in God's name do I do?
Diane's hoping the wilderness trek is the answer. But after a week in the woods, Kyle is still closed down.
The hiking just gets me more pissed at you guys, if anything. And that's what we're doing most of the day. Then we get to camp, don't have time to do anything, cook dinner, and then go to sleep. It's like, what the deal? It doesn't give you much time to think. It gives you time to sweat and be pissed and resent.
I'm coming over here to have a real conversation with you, and it's like, to tell you the truth, I think you just want to feel sorry for yourself.
It happens to be Kyle's 16th birthday, so just a few hours after his confrontation with Danielle, there's a small celebration for him. For the moment at least, he's just a kid again, happy it's his birthday.
All right.
Danielle, it's all you.
Today is a very special day.
Hundreds of miles away in San Diego, Diane Roberts is missing her son.
For 16 years, I'd been celebrating the day he was born with him, and this time I had to celebrate the day he was born without him, and that it was very hard.
Happy birthday to you.
And that we'd celebrate his birthday in a happier time, in a happier way. That his mother loves him more than he'll ever know.
Week 2. Our kids are learning to fend for themselves. They set up their own camps and make their own meals every night, packing up every morning. How well they deal with these tasks is often an indication of how well they're doing tackling their internal problems. Kyle, for one, still has a lot to learn.
This morning he's had an hour and a half to pack up, and he's not packed his bags. He's hardly cooked breakfast, and he's also had just a lot of attitude with the staff members.
The counselors decide what Kyle needs is a wake-up call.
You're not really doing that much out here.
Because I'm not getting it from you guys, I'm getting it from myself.
You're not really, I mean, it's day 14 here and you're still kind of swimming in a pile of your stuff after 3 hours of being up. You know, that's pretty basic, Kyle.
I feel like I have changed, just not towards you guys. If my mom was around here, I'd be completely different.
But it was Mom who was forced to send him away in the first place. The reality is, Kyle must change right here, right now, or he'll be going to a residential rehab program after Trek.
If you want to take the opportunity to start working this program, maybe things would be different for you. Maybe you can keep going to another one.
Maybe you guys can try and help me out a little more.
You know what? We're here to help you out, man. We've been here for 2 weeks to help you out. Don't put this on us. You need to pony up, pal.
It was just a good interaction to be really straight with him and do it in a pretty agitated way, just to shake things up for him.
A lot of things have been buzzing through my head.
Melissa continues to progress.
Well, I figured out my role in the family. And that would probably be peacemaker. I carry a lot of weight for that, which I shouldn't carry.
She reveals the depth of her depression. Melissa's gone so far as self-mutilation, cutting her arms with a knife on purpose.
How often do you do it?
Whenever I get pissed off.
How often is that? How many times have you done it?
More than I can count.
Do you cry when you're doing it?
Usually.
She's still holding back, not being completely forthcoming about the source of her anguish. And yet, she's come farther out here than ever before.
How is the therapy here different than therapy you've had in the past?
More intense. I can't bullshit out here. Like, I don't know, I'm able to bullshit my therapist back at home, so.
Why? You learn how to play the game, talk the talk?
Yeah. Put a smile on.
And what does that do when you smile? It's not just an emotion, it's also a device, right? You use the smile.
Defense. It's a cover-up.
Does it work?
Hell yes. Works like a charm.
But it doesn't work in the wilderness.
You said, well, you guys have enough problems out here, so I don't want to add to that. Remember that?
What I meant by that is, like, I didn't want to be a burden. You people must be, like, extraordinarily bored to just hear about, like, all of the people's problems and that they're dealing with.
Do we look bored right now? We're, like, all glued onto you.
Yeah, but I don't know, you're therapists, you're tricky people.
You're a tree hugger. I hate tree huggers anyways, and I think they're stupid. So it.
The trek has brought out some honesty in Mario, too, but not in a productive way. His anger is still on full display.
I could rip on you for what the you do, but I don't. I think you're just insecure about yourself for ripping on me for what I do. So off. I think it's stupid.
What you working on?
Mario is simply not getting with the program. So as the week draws to a close, the staff drops a bombshell.
Got some news we need to give you.
Okay.
He's not going home. His parents want him placed in a residential rehab program.
So they don't even want to talk to me. They just want to set me up with another thing without even sitting down with me.
Oh, I think they'll want to sit down with you, and I'm sure they'll come to the end family meeting.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But later in the day, his initial shock is replaced by a desperate outburst. Though he's at his most upset,
I want him to let me live my life because that's all that matters.
he's also making his first breakthrough, expressing the feelings that fuel his anger.
I have to be on the same page with my parents in order for things to work out, because that's the only way that they're going to see it as a good way to live. And basically, when they do sit down and talk to me, they tell me things that I'm doing wrong and not things that I've done right. I don't like being thrown into a path and being told, this is what you have to do.
He really came up with like a lot of the shame he feels for not living up to his perception of his father's expectations. He was able to talk about that need to be accepted by his father and how he's really felt like he's failed that.
I should be able to see what I want to be able to see out of life. And if that means that I'm a heroin addict and I die, that's what I see.
Mario sees the same horrible possibilities as his parents, and yet he wants the freedom to make those bad choices anyway.
I've seen what happened to people that parents take control of their lives. They end up doing exactly what they want them to do, the rest of their lives.
You are too strong, Mario.
He has the control here. His life is what he makes it.
What do you think Mario would find if he were to walk around his parents', his family's heart?
He would find acceptance for who he is. He would find love. He would find disappointment. He would find a little glimmer of hope, I would hope. If we didn't have hope in him, we wouldn't be doing this.
It's taken 2 weeks, but Mario's tough front has finally been peeled back, maybe moving him a little closer to accepting some help.
Things are changing. Clicking along. Changes are afoot.
In the days ahead, the climax of the trek. Who in this group of teens will begin a new chapter in their young lives? Coming up on Primetime.
We go back now into the wilderness of Southwest Oregon. For Kyle, Melissa, Mario, and the others, the hardest test is yet to come. It's called the Solo. 3 days and 3 nights, each child alone in the wild, each fending for themselves. And the biggest challenge, coming face to face with themselves. Once again, Chris Cuomo.
Day 13. It is a confident group now. The kids are attuned to their surroundings, to the rhythms of the wilderness. Some have come farther in the past few weeks than they have in the past few years.
It was on a Thursday when I shot up heroin.
Melissa reveals more and more about how her drug use led to bad choices, like friendships that were really about getting drugs.
I've only paid like a couple times because the person I was getting it from, he really didn't care about the money so much, so.
In retrospect, who do you think got used?
Me? I don't know. I used him too.
So you guys are just with me now.
What do you mean?
Kyle is so angry about being sent to a residential program after Trek, he is unable to focus on anything else.
You're toying with the idea of committing here, but you don't really do it.
Well, because you guys are telling me what's going on in my head, and you guys are wrong.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm saying that you're at a crossroads right now, Kyle.
I said I regret mad that I did. I took everything for granted. I would love to work it out with her, but I'm not going to have that chance, so.
Kyle says he has regrets, but he is still refusing to change. The group is now preparing for Solo, a critical time of the trek. And during the final group session before Solo, Danielle hands out something unexpected, Snickers bars.
You can do what you want with this. This is your drug of choice.
The Snickers bars represent whatever drug these kids are addicted to, pot, meth, alcohol. What they do with them is their choice.
This is going to be a meditation for each of you on what it means to have cravings
and what it means to sit with something that you really want. So after I ring this chime, we're going to be on silence, and your solo has begun.
7 a.m., day 14. In silence, the kids are brought to their solo sites. Each is limited to a small area, and again, shoes are taken. They're expected to write in their journals each day and to just think about their trouble and about how they want their lives to be. The 72 hours of isolation have begun.
Looks like she's doing well. I can see her moving in her tent, and she seems to be doing pretty good.
After 3 days and 3 nights, 4 of our kids return to camp. Melissa and Mario have been left out in solo. The staff decides they need more time to reflect. That night, they welcome the kids back with a ceremony.
I'm gonna let go of all of my dishonestness.
There is a sense of pride, almost jubilation. But what about their drug of choice? Where are those Snickers bars?
Oh, every time I went in my bag, I was put it in my mouth a few times.
I swear I didn't eat it.
Despite the temptation,
I swear it melted. Look.
not one of these kids ate the snack. Symbolically, at least, they all rejected their drug of choice. The staff senses a change in Kyle. Now, when he talks about his anger, his family, and his drug use, they find it genuine and convincing.
Because I realized that I haven't really done anything that keeps me out of trouble. Everything, all my hobbies and everything get me into trouble. So, I don't know, just wanted to go make some changes. And
what did you get done out there?
Found a sense of who I was and who I could be without drugs. And as I got a chance to get sober and think about it all, it just completely helped me out.
So you said when you were out on the solo, you figured out who you are.
I think I'm funny, I have a good sense of humor, I have a good family, took it all for granted, made some bad decisions. I've learned from my mistakes.
The next day, Melissa and Mario's extended solo finally ends. They get their own welcome back ceremony.
I like to let go of my stubbornness to change.
And what about their Snickers bars? Melissa threw hers in the fire after solo. Mario, he ate his the first day. Day 20, the last full day.
Come on, easy, let's go.
Our 6 teens are finally on their way out of the wilderness. But for one, it isn't over. Mario's parents have made a decision.
He did this halfway. He didn't do it all the way. And he needs to go back and do it again.
Just a quarter mile from the end of the trail, Rob pulls Mario aside.
We think you need a little more work on some things. Honestly, at the moment, we're not convinced that you're there yet.
I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like. I'm sad that I can't go see my family. But, oh well.
Where are you
It'll be
at?
alright. Where am I at?
Yeah.
It's sad.
The fact that you dropped to sadness before anger right now shows a lot of what you've done out here. Because the Mario I met 3 weeks ago would definitely have gone to anger and stayed there. It's okay.
Mario's faced with an undetermined stay in the woods with 2 new counselors.
Basically going to have both of them and you as a trek. And Liz and Danielle and I are going to walk up the road, and the rest of the trek's going to leave, and that's kind of where we're at.
He could be here an extra week, 3 weeks, even longer.
Need to say anything else, sir?
Just thanks for all your help out here. You guys have been awesome. Just had a pretty good time out here. I mean, learned a lot.
And his reaction is hopefully a sign of things to come.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Mario's mother has written a letter to her son, hoping to open his heart and his mind.
You can say you hate us, call us trash, and threaten to run away from us. But you can't run away from yourself.
Up ahead, 5 confident kids hike out of the wilderness. One set of challenges behind them, new ones yet to come. Tomorrow, they'll face their parents, and none of their lives will ever be the same. Day 21 in the Kalmiopsis Wilderness, the final day. Now, it is only this bridge that separates our kids from their parents. After a journey that's covered 42 miles, after 3 long weeks of worry, doubt, and hope, families are finally reunited.
Love you.
For Kyle, a surprise. His father, whom he hasn't seen in months.
So how was it?
I don't like hiking.
All right, Melissa, do you want to start out? Wherever you
It's
want to
time for the final family meeting.
Just look your mom in the eye.
The kids are asked to be totally honest about themselves and their actions. Everything they've never told mom and dad.
Most of the time when I drank to get drunk.
Gabrielle realizes how little she knows about her daughter's trouble. It's a bitter education.
I smoked crystal in the house 6 times. People started to know me for how I was high. I started stealing. I've sold drugs. I have had suicide plans and attempts.
There were some confessions so private, Melissa asked us not to broadcast them. So painful, she feared her mother would reject her.
I love you just the same, Melissa. And I'm glad that you got all of this off your chest. And I'm sorry I didn't see it sooner.
I need a hug. Baby.
I said I never sold weed. That was a lie.
Kyle is finally face to face with mom, ready to come clean and to say how he feels, calmly and clearly.
Like, you talk to me about your problems with your boyfriend, and it just kind of, I don't know, disturbs me because it makes me want to protect you, and I don't feel like I should have to protect my own mom.
But Kyle seems to revert to his sullen shell when reminded he's not going back to San Diego right away. He'll be heading to a transitional home.
Do you understand why I've made that choice?
I understood why you made this choice, but
Do you understand why this next choice?
I don't understand one after another, no.
As much as Diane misses her son, she knows he needs more time away from the temptations of home. Even though Mario's not here, his parents have come, hoping to get a sense of what their son is still going through.
But I'd have to say, of everything, the hardest thing in the whole trip is coming today. And watching everybody get to see their son. And mine's not here. Mine's not there yet.
As the sun goes down on a chapter of their lives, 5 families begin the long trip home.
Melissa Heckman.
So much more hopeful than 3 weeks ago, anxious to face the challenges ahead. But the Saracinos must wait.
This is your path. No one can choose for you. We can try to influence you, to encourage you, and to even send you on a wilderness trek in hopes that you might find the good in you. But the truth is, whatever you do is up to you. I love you, and I miss your handsome, smirky little face.
The wilderness trek alone, of course, is not a cure. It's just a critical first step. All of the teens you met here tonight are going to need plenty of follow-up treatment. As for the cost, it is $8,000. But the program is accredited as residential treatment, which means insurance can cover up to 75%.
And if you or someone you know is having trouble with a teen and would like to find out more, we've asked the Wilderness Program's executive, Rob Cooley, to be available for an online chat. And you can find details about that at abcnews.com. So that's it for us tonight. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning for Good Morning America. I'm Diane Sawyer. Good night.
And I'm Charles Gibson. From all of us here at Primetime Thursday, have a good night.